of the young boy
Yeah.
dead on the
Yeah, Elan.
coast. Yeah. You know, this is why this is so poignant, because it's really depicts the anger and of these people. They are really leaving, not particularly because of the war, but especially because of better economic opportunities.
Right. How is Europe going to react? I mean, if we are going to assess the European response to the refugee crisis so far, is this going to be interpreted in a sense of tougher security measures? What are we seeing on
Well,
behalf of Europe?
yes, Tagreed, it's a bit unfortunate because Europe should not bear the whole burden.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and that stated, not every European country must bear that burden alone. At the moment, Germany, for example, has more than its share of refugees.
Right.
This is not the problem of Germany. It's partly because the refugees do not want to go to other countries.
Right.
They do not want to settle in Eastern Europe.
Well, the European countries are adopting different policies concerning the refugee issue, regarding even the acceptance of the refugees. And as you've said, Germany is welcoming the thousands. How about Britain?
Unfortunately, Britain is not.
It is resisting, resisting the move.
Yes, but with Jeremy Corbyn just winning the Labour Party, perhaps maybe
there
that
might
would
be a change in stance.
Yeah, I hope so. But generally speaking, the Scandinavian countries and Germany are the main. Of course, southern European countries like Greece, Italy, Spain, and others have economic problems.
Yeah.
So they cannot absorb this amount.
Right. Mr. Gamal, well, capitalizing on the human surge of feeling that has been on Facebook, on Twitter, on the social media after Aylan's death, and this crisis emerging, how are we capitalizing on that spirit, and what should be done? Is there a mechanism according to which the world is working today?
Well, I personally think that first of all, development has to be achieved in the region.
Right.
Secondly, Europe cannot absorb the refugees. Other countries, like the United States, must accept, and Canada and Australia, must accept some of these refugees.
How are they expanding today the migration channels? I mean, the top UN human rights official urged Europe today to build on this surge of sympathy for the refugees and setting what he termed to be comprehensive policies to expand the migration channels.
The sympathy, we have to be very careful. The sympathy is among a certain left-wing progressive groups in Europe. But in actual fact, they're also very anti-refugees, neo-Nazis that do not want refugees in their country. And that includes Germany, which is one of the most open-minded and willing to accept refugees. But especially when you come to Eastern Europe, and to some extent Britain and France, there is a great deal of resistance to accepting refugees.
Right.
And unfortunately, to say, the main point here is that Europeans see Europe as secular. And unfortunately, most of the refugees are regarded as militant Islamic terrorists. And rightly or wrongly, this is the impression. And in a country like Germany, for example,
But at the same time, they cannot correlate, militancy with Islam. I mean, it's not the case.
well, they do, unfortunately.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do about it, but they do equate the two. They mix up the two.
Well, a lot of work, in changing even the religious discourse and in working on more than one dimension, actually.
Exactly, yes, because Tahrir demography is changing the population of Europe. You have Europeans, native Europeans, who do not have children. And the population is declining or aging. And you have an influx of Muslims from the Middle East. So there are a group of Europeans, and that's a large group,
the issue
who
is,
think that Europe's culture is going to change, is going to become an Islamic culture as opposed to be a secular culture.
Well, on more than one dimension, the issue needs work, and it seems that the refugee crisis is going to be in the headlines for more days, needing unconventional measures